will move on to the Diamond Division in Cycle 1 to kick it off, joining the 5 teams that were invited already. So excited to be here, and casting with Nui once again as my co-caster. I've had a interesting day so far, to say the least. Already some pretty interesting pickups as far as heroes go. Hellbringer we've now seen twice. We saw Hammerstorm even earlier on. Yeah, again, take them with a grain of salt, because yeah, these teams, maybe several of them a little less experienced than others. More so just kind of feeling it out than trying to go for a true powerful strategy, you could say. But it's going to be interesting to see how that continues on.
Yeah, look at that blind ban, by the way, from the Legion team. Deadlift.
Wow. Really? Did they do that the first game? I don't know if they did.
I didn't pay enough attention to notice, but could have been the case. They are going to get rid of the Ophelia as well, at least.
Yeah. Deadlift more Ophelia Midas. Yeah, deadlifts, I've heard the potential in terms of, especially with like a push style lineup, is some good synergy there. So I wonder if that's
or versus like Ophelia creeps.
Yeah, that too.
Or similar.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So the Legion team are going to copy the Hellborn's heroes from last game so far, at least, Behemoth and Rhapsody. Let's see if they follow it up with a third. Magnus and Pyre Monster from Hellborn side, indicating that they're going for that low-level burst, dual lane in the mid. A lot of scary damage output. See what they want to put up against that. They could have Rhapsody plus another hero in the mid, but it's always scary to go versus a Magnus and a Pyre Monster.
Yeah, it's almost like you might as well just kind of concede it instead with more of a 1v2 hero, perhaps. But I'm going to say Midas, but he is banned.
Rhapsody is a good hero though to have versus it. You can always max out the Disco Inferno over your Staccato as well in the mid lane and just sit behind your teammate. As long as you get the Disco Inferno level 2 up, I don't think the Pyre Monster or Magnus has enough damage. They're going to go with Romaraxus, so safe to say that I think that they are going to go up versus it. So expect a lot of early action coming out from that mid lane.
Meraxus is interesting though. I know he's kind of tanky and he does have a decent, stun, but the W is going to be pretty much useless against Pyro Magnus, at least in the beginning, of course. Granted, if he's able to absorb a Pyro ulti with the Blazing Strike, then that would be really powerful. But yeah, in the laning portion, though, it's not necessarily going to be the best ability.
It's true, but I don't think it's the biggest deal. He can just focus on getting those more access abilities leveled up instead, or the Quake stun, just add up the stun duration a little bit more. I mean, I don't see Magnus and Pyre Monster killing him whatsoever, as long as Rhapsody is in position. Just stay behind the Meraxes and get the Disco Inferno up whenever he gets jumped on.
Yeah.
Just try to get as much out of the lane as possible. I would even favor Meraxes and Rhapsody, I think, versus the Magnus and Pyre Monster. To a certain extent, at least. It depends on what they're going to pick up for their fourth choice. The Parasite is still available. I'm surprised that they didn't pick it up instead of the Bubbles. I think that would have been an excellent option to complement the Pyre Monster and a Magnus with early aggression. You could even go with Parasite into offensive forest and sneak in behind them and get free kills on Rhapsody over and over.
We'll see the bands now following here. Tremble, Dr. Repulsor so far. So still a bit of ways to go for these two teams. Again, a lot of other matches being played right now. A lot of other round of 64 matches. So try to keep an eye on some of the more known teams to make sure we're not missing anything there as far as results. And Mystery Gang, it already looks like they're up 1-0 over their opponents. So obviously one of the teams that definitely expected, just coming off their top 4 performance in the Onslaught event. And having some pretty interesting results, to say the least, throughout that event, too. So definitely a very high candidate. And I believe they even got the #1 seed in these brackets here for the qualifiers, and deservingly so. Ravener, Swiftblade, Kronos, and Silhouette is how we're going to finish things. A lot of carry, very carry heavy on both sides.
Still no Parasite ban, by the way. I would be really surprised if that just goes left. I mean, usually when we see the top tier teams playing each other, then that's like first or second pick material.
Yeah. Shout out to Garena RU, by the way. Twitch.tv/GarenaRU. Those guys over there, they've actually been, I've been seeing them streaming, casting quite a bit, their events in the CIS region. Pretty healthy scene going on right there right now, it seems like. And They also just hosted us for over 1,000 viewers, so shout out to all those viewers that are tuning in as well from the Garena RU stream. You can
Russian Dargons playing here.
Exactly. It's perfect timing. We got the Russian Dargons going at it. Revenant, 4th pick coming out. Okay. Is that... It's going to be a
safe lane Revenant.
Farming Revenant? Yeah.
I would assume so. I don't see anything else.
Well, I mean, I guess the dual support isn't out of the question.
Yeah, but, I mean, who would they lane with? Miraxus is terrible in those offensive tri-lane situations, simply because of the fact that he doesn't have a solid stun to initiate with. But I think that the reason for why they picked up Revenant now is to have him in the safe lane and go versus that Bubbles. Bubbles is most likely going to be in the suicide lane, and Revenant's going to crush him one-on-one. So expect like a 350 plus gold per minute Revenant and a very low GPM Bubbles. Now they got Wretched Hag as well. I guess he's going to go versus the Behemoth in that case. So I would favor the Legion team when it comes to drafting so far. Actually, it's going to be a second or a babysitting Revenant, I assume. Not sure if I like that. I mean, Parasite's still available. I just don't see why you would want to let him slip away from you.
Well, they're going to have to... They're going to have to go Parasite over, or like a jungler, right? Because you got Hag and Bubbles, both very solo heroes.
Yeah, so. I was talking about the Legion team, but...
no, I know.
Yeah.
I'm talking about for them now, though. So that could possibly be an idea for them.
It could. They don't necessarily have the best of lockdown, though, I feel. They need, or some kind of... like, what do they need? They need a hero that can pick up the Astro, or something like a little bit more of a tanky presence. I mean, a Parasite, I could see it. Doesn't feel top-notch. But there isn't too much else. Like, there is a Tempest. You could see the Keeper of the Forest, even. I wouldn't be out of the question.
I like Tempest here. Okay.
Yeah, so they are going for a little bit more of a tanky presence. I like that pickup. Definitely going to be viable here.
They didn't have a Shrunken Head Stopper on the Hellborn or the Legion side, though. So that's what I was going to say. Tempest could have been a pretty big pickup here.
Oh, yeah, true.
They go the Cthulhu font, which is also, again, a solid pickup, definitely, for them.
Now they got that aggressive jungler as well. They didn't go for the Parasite, but I guess Cthulhu font could potentially fill the same role. Not going to have too much of an easy time actually going into the offensive force, though, when there is a Revenant already sitting there. But as long as you time the rotations correctly, a Magma stun onto the Pyre Monster into a Cthulhu Fan Trample should be able to secure a kill onto Miraxus in that mid lane.
Here we go. Calamine going to be playing the Wretched Hag, and wow, is that a new skin? I can't say I recognize that at all. Only thing that's recognizable is the staff, because the skin itself, I would not think that's Wretched Hag. Holy crap. Well, yeah, the staff is very similar, of course. Have some kind of similarities, but all right.
Damn, looks like some kind of a Blitz avatar almost, like similar. Not with the cape, but the kind of alien style.
Yeah.
Or Disco Inf or whatever that Rhapsody avatar. I think she got rollerblades or something. Oh, look at this! By the way, Miraxus is in trouble. Do they have anything to slow? Yeah, there's the Fisher. Nice.
So they're good to go. So a little bit scary there for the Legion side, but ultimately are going to be fine. Again, the Hellborn team, they're the ones with the jungler, and they're the ones that were going aggressive right there. So definitely leading you to believe that expect the aggressive pseudo tri lane, and sure enough, that's what we see here.
Yeah. Question is, does the Legion team realize in time? Because in that case, they should be able to block or body block this Cthulhu hard camp. And if they do, they're easily going to be able to get rid of the Cthulhu from their forest. Do they have any vision here? Do they see Revenant? He is relatively tanky, but if they hit the stun, he's dead.
Yeah, man, if Magnus did what he did right there just maybe 2 seconds earlier, that was a dead Revenant, I'm pretty sure, because he was a little further up. And, yeah, he definitely had no clue that they were nearby. But it may be, again, what's easy for us to tell with the vision and everything. So very likely they just didn't necessarily have the full vision of it. And instead decided to wait. And as you see right here, no kill's going to be happening now. So
they got 2 Guardian rings, by the way, here at the Legion side.
Oh.
One on TDL and one on Revenant. So that's a little bit of a mistake almost, I feel.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing that turns into is, of course, the Ring of the Teacher. So that's Not necessarily the most efficient idea right there, running it in the same lane.
Legion team need to put it, or like put the pressure onto Magnus straight away though. Like I don't know why they're playing passive. I mean, Cthulhu's obviously not nearby. They have a division for it, but for some reason they're letting Magnus last hit. I mean, either go towards the Cthulhu and box him out of the forest, or get rid of the Magnus and the Pyro Monster. Yeah. 3 versus 2 situation, guys. Come on.
Use your numbers. Use your numbers. That is the name of the game here. Now, again, they only have the 1 stun in Rhapsody, so it's not really the most threatening in that sense, but they do have a lot of poke damage.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Rhapsody can just go in front. Revenant can just give Rhapsody the defile on Pyro Monsters down to half HP.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It does seem like they're playing it very safe when they shouldn't be. In fact, he's going to go in right now, but this is bad timing because here comes Cthulhu. Happened to be in the right place at the right time, and Bloodlust kill comes out in favor of the Hellborn side. So, yeah, they had a window there, but it didn't do it in time, and then when they kind of try to, happened to be the wrong time.
Yeah, Revenant should just be sitting on the Cthulhu non-stop. I mean, he should not be allowed to be in the offensive forest. Especially when the hard camp is already blocked, like his hook camp is not going to do too much. And of course with the defile he can easily just box the Cthulhu.
You see over here, Cthulhu back into the other
Look at the
side
top
of
lane, by the way. There's a little bit of action going on. Never mind, he's going to be fine, but Hag blinked in offensive. No, never mind, Hag hasn't even skilled his blink yet.
No. Just running up simply. He does have the level 2 Haunt, I'm guessing. No, level 1 Haunt, okay. In the melee matchup, I thought the Haunt would usually be preferred, but likes the Sonar Scream here. I don't know, are you familiar enough with that matchup that you would...
Behemoth versus Hag?
More so Hag versus melee.
Oh, Hag versus
melee.
Should
she be getting the Haunt?
Yeah, I would have gotten 2 levels in Haunt. Definitely. I wouldn't have continued to skill it up to level 3 or anything like that, because you need this one scrim when you transition out of the lane and start counter pushing, and of course it's more of a burst damage that fits more with your lineup, with Cthulhu and ganks for example, but as of right now there's really no point in not getting level 2 in Haunt.
This is a weird skin,
Behemoth is not even, Behemoth doesn't even have marchers, so like he wouldn't been able to move if he got that level 2 Haunt.
That's true, yeah. Oh, she is upgrading the Sonar Scream, and yeah, I was going to say the animation of it is kind of like a lot of hearts pop out. I don't really understand, I guess it's just a love theme or something like that, as far as the skin goes. Anywho, a little too caught up on that. Bottom lane, more action could be coming. You see Cthulhu, he just got his bottle delivered, and now he's going to run towards the bottom lane. They don't really have vision to spot him coming over. So this definitely could be something. Revenant's sitting on top of a water site right now. Doesn't have a clue. Look at Magnus. I mean, he's so far up, and they're not doing anything.
The team are just allowing him to fully free farm. I don't know what they're up to right now.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be dominating the safe lane over the Hellborn side, as long as they play their cards right from the start. Now, of course, with the first blood already dropped, the Hellborn team, all of them almost got marchers, and Cthulhu even got a bottle. He's level 4. Or level 3, so it's going to be difficult now.
I also think they needed a little bit better vision in their own jungle, like something like a warded site over here in this near the yellow camp even, to really give them information of where Cthulhu's at. Because I think that's been the biggest issue. Because we've seen Cthulhu all the way over here as actually middle lane. Wow, Bubbles goes down to Meraxis. Not something you'd figure would happen, especially with no ultimate. I mean, that was just simply, I guess, auto attacks and axes. How did that even happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't... maybe there was some kind of rune that Meraxis had? Like some haste rune or something, and SubKG didn't pay enough attention?
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume so, because I haven't seen any war... Or wait, there is an illusion rune at the top lane, so... Or at the top river, so never mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Super just
well
getting...
played by Meraxis, I guess.
Yeah, we'll just say that. We'll just say that. Well played by ads there, playing the Meraxis. And... securing a kill on a Super KG. Getting some revenge for last game. Super KG had a hell of a game on Prisoner, especially to start, so getting the favorable time in that matchup this time around. It seems like Behemoth doing some work against Hag at the top lane, but you see as soon as he gets out of distance, turn around, so it's auto attacking. Not much he can do. Ooh, cancels the health pot actually. So some
nice.
Good use right there. Keep the life pool a little lower. But yeah, as I was getting it earlier, because it really, you can tell, they're just scared constantly of this Cthulhuphon. Even though he's been over where he is now and towards the yellow camp into this far left camp throughout a lot of this jungling phase, they don't know that because they don't have any vision.
No, and they still don't share. Like, they could still just put Revenant on the Cthulhuphant and he wouldn't have been able to farm in their forest, but no, they're just gonna sit here behind the Dark Lady. And sure, Dark Lady is 270 gold per minute, but that's not going to be nearly enough. I mean, as soon as Magnus and Pyre Monster hits like the higher levels, or like level 6 on Magnus, for example, then Dark Lady is more or less dead. Unless Rhapsody, or if Rhapsody moves away. Oh yeah, this is going to be troublesome. Now Cthulhuphant is coming in once more, and yeah, the Legion team got absolutely no idea what's going on or where he's located, so...
Middle lane, more access, gonna be fine. Taking some poke damage from the illusions right there, but yeah, Rhapsody and Revenant, they've been basically hugging this tower the whole time. And then it also goes back, they both have a Guardian ring, yet neither one has a Ring of the Teacher yet as well. So again, just really just kind of very inefficient there. That armor is doing basically nothing for them right now at this point, especially considering how defensive this has been in this bottom lane. But Cthulhuphant is coming in, as you mentioned. They put a Rev 4 down to make sure that there was no vision, and they're correct on that. But because of how safe they're just constantly playing, doesn't seem like any kills going to be happening just yet. Enthaz, top lane, Behemoth. That's not going to happen. He was, you know what? I wonder if he's really close to level 6, because he actually could have had a chance right there to maybe run up and shockwave real quickly onto Hag and try to get the kill, but it's not going to happen.
Wouldn't have had enough mana for both the Shockwave and the Fissure, unfortunately, so I don't think it would have been enough, but... Yeah, 144 gold per minute only on Behemoth. Sure, he's getting levels, but he's really struggling when it comes to those last hits. And he went for a bottle as well over the Marchers. I mean, it's good for the sustain, of course, but yeah, as soon as it comes to the last hits, like, he's not going to have too much. He should just bunk up with some mana pots and just keep on last hitting, I feel.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that last game with him on Magnus, I believe it was. Just doesn't like the boots earlier on, apparently. Despite them, could argue being pretty solid in terms of just getting position and leech experience and whatnot. But, excuse me. Rhapsody, that's another interesting.
Yeah, I mean, now the Legion team are starting to move into the forest, but now Cthulhuphant is level 5 and Rhapsody is level 3 and he doesn't have Marchers. It's just, yeah, if they leave Dark Lady alone now here down at their bottom, all that it takes is Magnus stun into Eruption and Dark Lady is dead.
Well, Behemoth is probably dead right here, although Super KG maybe overextended his shell serve a little bit. Has another one coming up in 8 seconds. No mana for it, though. Puts the taunt up. Okay. He's going to try to get the kill for Hag, yeah. There's the Sonar Scream to secure the kill. So, 2-1 hero killing now. Bottom lane. Oh, man. They're not going.
Why did they invest the Rhapsody over the Maraxus?
Yeah. And then she's not even going on top of that. So it's like, what was even the point? I don't know. God, they're just playing so scared. And it just doesn't make sense.
No, it absolutely doesn't. It's a little bit frustrating. I mean, I definitely feel like they would have been in a much better place in this game. Like, they won the mid lane with the Maraxus versus the Bubbles. Might not have won the top lane with the Behemoth versus the Bubbles, but versus the Hag. But I mean, Behemoth is still level 6, and if they would have just had a little bit more farm on this Dark Lady, I mean, just some kind of sign of life for her to get closer onto that Rune Axe. But I mean, as it is right now, like, where she's going to find a farm? Like, absolutely nowhere. The Hellborn team, they got a Hag and a Bubbles. As long as they keep ports on, like, there's no way that this Magnus is going to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, you see 226 gold per minute for a defensive tri-lane Dark Lady. Not something you want to see at all. And bottom lane, it seems like that they're really going to try right here. They got some of these, they got the numbers. There's a silence in, but no stun. Rhapsody's just playing very defensive once again. As she's falling back, basically. Magma's coming in. He's going to stun Rhapsody. He knows he has to channel the Eruption. No staccatos! Oh, it was on cooldown. Yep, there's a Eruption double tap. And now Dark Lady's by herself. Will dodge the stun from Pyromancer.
Pyromancer.
There you go, Magnus and Phoenix Wave, and a hat trick for Archie Tiger onto the Magnus. I mean, it's great for him, and he definitely made some solid plays, but that honestly was pretty sloppy from Fel Esports right there.
It was, yeah, very well played by Archie Tiger, of course, seeing the opportunity, getting that second or a 2-man Lava Surge into the Eruption, but yeah, Legion team, I mean, you gotta be able to do better than this. I'm sure that they can do better than this. It's just, for some reason, they're playing so scared, and now Rhapsody is like staying here in the base. He was actually standing still here for quite some time. He wasn't entirely sure where he wanted to go. Like, he doesn't have marchers. Like, where do you go from now? Like, where are you going to get pickoffs? Meraxes went for Steam Boost, by the way. I almost feel like he should have rushed the Polkey. That's how much trouble they're in, just to get some kind of initiation. They need to rotate the Behemoth as well. He cannot stay at the top lane for too long. Like, their number one priority right now is to get Dark Lady the Farmer to box out the Cthulhu and the Magnus from their side of the map. And talking about Behemoth.
Oh yeah, top lane. He's going to throw the fissure, but it really does nothing in the end. Kind of just in panic mode at that point as Bubbles roams over to set up that kill. So Super KG does pick up his first kill of the game. 270 gold per minute, so not the prisoner game necessarily, but still doing solid. Bottom lane, Dark Lady, she's dead. Trample hits, and yep, the Phoenix Wave. Was she invis there? I think she was.
Yeah, she was.
That's why they kind of were running around, but the Phoenix Wave secures it. Anyways, from Pyromancer, good heads up by him to throw that out right there. So another kill on Dark Lady now is just really struggling as if she wasn't before. Only 200 gold per minute and still dead for another 10 seconds right here. The action is going to continue more and more for Russian Dargons, you got to figure. And yeah, it goes back to just what does the Legion side have right now that they can really bank on. Meraxes is their best bet, and he's only farming 260 GPM. So Portal Key still a ways away, unfortunately, before we're seeing that here. And Cthulhu Font. There's 4 players down here. They're going to really try to protect this Dark Lady now. But again, she's not even farming. She's chasing with the team, and the creeps are at the tower.
I mean, the communication, they're definitely tilted after this tri lane. They are not entirely sure. I mean, this is where you take a strat pause and just try to calm yourself down a little bit. But at this point, I'm afraid it's already too late. Magnus level 9 with a Portal Key, and Meraxes is not even close by to his own.
Oh, there we go. The jump on to Cthulhu Fawn. He got level 6. Magnus comes out with the eruption. Quick kill to Behemoth. Dark Lady's dead as well. Rhapsody will survive in the background. Cthulhu Fawn's still alive. And they're going to kill Revenant right here. GG is even already being called. And I'm pretty sure it's serious because this is just way out of control. They can't even concede yet. But they're already throwing in the towels. Still have 2 more minutes remaining here.
Yeah, no surprise. The laning phase was not the prettiest here.
No.
Which is unfortunate because they could have done so much better if they just weren't that afraid in the start. Then it just snowballed from there.
So I'm already looking at a lot of matches have already finished once again. But got a couple of options that we can maybe jump into here shortly. So we'll let this one officially finish out here. And then
there is actually one game, Retards in Action versus The Mist.